Hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Square Eye Syndrome podcast, the best TV podcast in the land. Says I am Ben Gilman. As always, I'm joined by Troy Salmon and our very special guest. Oh, I cut you off. Sorry, Troy.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello. How are you?
There you go, man. Knackered, but I'm gonna push through for you guys, for the fans. So I do.
Everyone this week. And our special guest is another work colleague of ours has come on. I'm very happy to have her on. It's Iulia the boss.
Hi Ben. Yes, it's Iulia here.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Would you like to tell the fans, the listeners about yourself a little bit?
Yeah. So I am originally from Romania. I've moved to the UK in 2013 without thinking I'm going to move to the UK. I just came here to do like a 1-year sort of volunteering work with adults with learning disabilities. And it turned out I wanted to stay. I did study translation and interpreting, English and French. So I thought, well, being a Romanian in an English-speaking country, that would be the perfect way to kind of start my job as an interpreter. Then looking further into this, I realized that actually I can't do that full-time at least, because everything's managed by agencies and you can never do like an 8-hour day or 7-hour day or nothing because it's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
So I stuck with what I did volunteering in, which is working with adults with learning disabilities. And I'm still doing that to this day, 8 years later.
That's good. I mean, exactly. I mean, you're always like the happy person I speak to in the morning because you're also like Alex. You're my other boss as well. So I've got 2 great bosses, and fans will know Alex from previous podcasts. She's quite popular. So you're always the happy, smiley person with such a bright, cheery voice in the morning when I come into work. So just, I'm sure hopefully they get on with you as well, like I do. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Cheers.
Cool. So, Troy, how are you?
Oh, as I said before, man. Oh, my days. Stuff's happened today. Woo-wee! But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Whatever happened today was a good thing. So, I feel good, man. I just feel good, I just feel good today.
Such positive energy for me to feed off of both of you today. Yeah, mine's been okay. Like I'm feeling better than I was a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, I feel a bit more like the old Ben again.
Okay.
Energized.
About time, Ben. About time. We need the energy back.
I have tea again. It's beautiful. No one caffeine. I'm winning. British. Getting back my British right to have tea. That's cool. Okay. So, who wants to go first today? Who wants to talk first?
Who wants to smack it off? Who wants to go first? You winning. Okay, if none of you go first, I'll do it. I'll lead off.
Okay. Let's go.
This is gonna be a little throwback. It's gonna be a little throwback, just to start it off, just to kind of ingratiate it to the public. That's what I like to do.
Okay.
It's gonna annoy some people. And I love it. I love this.
Is this wrestling?
Okay, Ben knows it is. Yes.
No, we're not talking about professional wrestling.
Boy, back. It's back. No, I'm trolling. Let's start off with Loki, episode 4.
Marvel.
Situations going on. There we go. A bit of Marvel, a bit of Disney. So I don't know if any of you guys have been keeping up with Loki. I know Ben is gonna catch up at some point. I don't know if he's caught up yet. So you've caught up? Not yet.
What about you, Iulia? EU. Yeah.
Come on.
No, you left EU.
Come on, Ben.
Friendly to all of our European neighbours on this podcast, I'll have you know, we have no grudges. Brexit, what's that?
Jeez.
Loki. No, I have Disney, but I haven't started watching Loki.
Are you a big Tom Hiddleston fan? Like Loki himself?
She got the green headset on, so I was like, oh man, I thought she could get to the Loki. I thought I was like, damn it, tied again.
Actually, I'm not a big fan of anything, and I kind of like what I like, sort of.
Yeah.
If I watch something, I like it. Yeah, okay. But I don't really, I'm not massively like, oh, I love horror. Oh, I love romance. Oh, I love comedy. If a movie is gonna stick with me, that's gonna be like, wow, that's cool.
Okay, so whatever goes good. Okay, I got you.
So
Yeah.
how's the Loki train going? Where are we on episode 4? Because I haven't seen.
Whoo, Loki right now. It's getting hot. It's getting hot right now. That's what I'm gonna say, because Loki and his other self, his female self, is they're catching a bit of feelings right now, as you'd expect.
Is this the multiverse? Just explain to the
yes.
Yes.
So there's a multiple timelines going on right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's one main sacred timeline, but at the same time, there are branches that's happened and they've put them together. But this rogue variant Loki, called Sylvia, that's what they call her in the show. She's kind of the crazier version of Loki, the more action-based, the more magic-based. Even though Loki has a bit of magic in there, shape-shifting, blah 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 blah. But Sylvia is more stronger in her magic because he took a little lessons from his mother, but never really delved into that side of the magic tree, as you should say. So both of them, they end up getting captured towards the end of the episode, in episode 4, and there's a revelation in the show. I don't want to spoil it because literally Ben's here right now. I don't want to spoil the revelation.
I will come to Sheffield and I will personally. I say hello to your mum. I say hello to your mum and your sister. They're very nice people.
No, literally,
they'll hang you from the ceiling if you spoil.
He's got this flipping guy. But yeah.
I think we got to clear no spoilers. Yeah.
Clear, no spoilers, clear. Because literally people spoiled me. Ben spoiled me a lot of times. I'm like, what are you doing, Ben? What are you?
I'm renouncing my
This
way.
is the spoiler king right here, Ben. He's the spoiler king, so that's why I'm trying to stay away from it. So yeah. So as the show's going on, the TVA, as they're called, the overarching people who govern the time stream. They're time cops. That's what they're time cops. So they basically in this episode they finally reveal, they kind of show who the Time Lords are. Time Lords.
Doctor Who.
Shout out to Doctor Who.
Doctor Who thing. David Tennant comes in his TARDIS and goes, "We're the BBC. We're suing you for our copyright."
the Time King. So they're sitting on top of their throne, and stuff gets revealed in this episode that is pretty big in the grand scheme of Marvel right now. So, and something happens to Loki, and he goes somewhere, and there is an end credit scene, and I'm like, whoo-wee! This end credit scene is amazing. So sorry, I'm hyped right now. I'm hyped. Sorry, guys, I'm hyped right now.
Because it's about the Marvel universes, like the films and the TV shows. With the pandemic, they've had to push back Widow and everything back.
So much.
Now they're booming these, and like I said, my brother won't watch Iron Man now because he's gone. I am not watching all of the spin-offs.
He's not watching them. Come on, man.
It's really important. I get it. If you went on the ground floor in 2008, who would want to go through all that now? Because it's overkill. But I wanted to get your take on something, because at the moment we live in a world where sexual politics is everywhere, race and everything, and there's a lot of arguing going on.
Okay.
Basically, in all forms of life. So I've seen a lot of fans kicking off. A female Loki, it's another woman replacing a white man. But I would just like to say, they're not actually replacing him. She's just another form of Loki.
Yeah.
They're not. There's always this myth. There's a lot of anger on the internet now. Like Captain America is now black. Well, that was from the comics. Captain America, the Falcon became Captain America eventually in the comics.
Yeah.
And I said this to you last week. It feels like there's a small minority of white men who feel women and anyone that isn't a man that is non-white seems to be getting their panties in a twist about including diversity, which I think is a great thing. I think that's great. All backgrounds should be represented. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's got to that point where white men are being told, that's it, get out. You're not allowed to be on TV anymore. What do you think about it now, sir? You two, what do you think about because the TV landscape now is quite poisoned. Any casting, if it's a character from a book or something and they've they've got a different person with a different color skin, shouldn't make a difference, right? It should just be the actor. I've always believed this for me, and I get quite sick and tired of hearing the politicalness in my.
You know what? I've even talked to you about this before. Some characters I'm against them doing stuff like that because it kind of clashes with the backstory of the character, which it does. So I get certain points. I'm like, okay, for sure, we just shouldn't have done that. It seems kind of weird, kind of odd backstory wise to kind of because this in that kind of world it wouldn't happen. Blah, blah. Stuff like that. That makes sense. Stuff like that when it actually doesn't make sense within the story, within the character, it doesn't make sense. If you've got a character built up, like say in a certain area they grew up in, or so it doesn't make any sense. So, and I'm a proponent of if it makes sense, do it. I'm the kind of guy. If it makes sense, do it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I would say, for example, if it's something created in Disney, let's say, or a cartoon specifically, that's very malleable. That's very flexible.
Exactly,
you can change that however you want. It doesn't matter that Snow White was always historically white. It can be black. That's not what represents her. That's not what makes her Snow White. Even if it's actually, your face is white as snow or whatever.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing they use. Yeah,
but I mean, they can change the name if it's necessarily, it can be I don't know, something else. They have the power to change it. They have the power to change it to apply to our very diverse current context of the world. That's absolutely no problem. But say, for example, if they would make a movie about a historical event and now they're saying Hitler is black, that's gonna be a bit like,
that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Yeah, that kind of
thing. Wait a second. But also because then you would feel offended because black people ain't like that, in the sense that nothing in history made us be, to that degree of, let's not get into it, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
So it goes both ways at the end of the day.
Yeah,
we had a great conversation last week, Iulia, at EU 2 weeks ago. That's going to be a running joke for the podcast now. EU.
This guy's gonna keep that joke going.
Yeah, Lulu. That's what you do.
Hey, you.
Don't worry, Iulia. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. I got you.
We had an interesting conversation because Resident Evil. Netflix have done a live action. We looked at it. Now, in the past, like I've asked Troy because he's a black man about how he feels about black representation in the media. Now, there is a character who's normally white who's been changed to black, the bad guy, and that's not a problem because technically it's still a guy. And the backlash has been on all the women cast where there's no white man, there's no other men. It's just a bunch of women and a black guy as the bad guy. I haven't seen any backlash again from about, I see. Everyone's kind of applauded it because it's the right actor. And I like that bit because people aren't looking at his skin color. Like, he's a good actor. He's going to be fantastic for this character, which is finally what I want to hear. Mm-hmm. But then, unfortunately, it's like, it's all the women. Where's the men? Why is it like, so we've got a long way to go, I think.
In terms of that, yeah.
I don't know what the answer is.
But we have to remember that people in our nature, I was going to say in their nature, but it's actually in our nature because we're people. We're quite difficult in changing our opinions and the values that we grow with. And, it takes a lot for a person to realize, actually, this is the reason why I'm uncomfortable with this. How about I change the way I feel about this issue? And I think this is where it comes from. People are going to be outraged because maybe they're not used to seeing different things. They're very fixist in what they believe things should be, and it goes all the way to the movies. I don't know but I think that it's a step in the right direction, trying to have more diverse movies, bringing back spin-offs, changing the characters. That's more convenient to our reality, the context. We'll always have access to the movies that have been done in the past. If you want to see like more specifically whatever, you're more than welcome to go watch one that's already been made. But we're in a different era now. Like the level of diversity is going through the roof, and we should really be inclusive. And I don't think this has nothing to do with being politically correct, because that's what people will say. Oh, you're doing this because, oh, if you don't have an Asian, a black person, a woman, and a man or whatever, you're not going to be able to apply to be nominated at the Oscars or whatever, because that's the rule now. But the rule has been made specifically so that everyone has an equal chance to be part of that movie.
Exactly, because I look at a lot now, because I've been this last year, there's been a lot of unrest and stuff. You go look at movies and shows, it's 90% white people. I completely understand why other minorities want more representation. I think it's a beautiful thing to celebrate the whole human race. For me personally,
Yeah.
I've never been racist, but now I'm beginning to see from everybody else's side, like my work colleagues that I've spoken to who are not non-white, and Troy and other people, friends like Troy, anyone that isn't white, and females as well, like any color females. I make more of an effort to try and see it from everyone else's side, and I can kind of see that, yeah, we do need to do more to try and get the diversity going. I mean, if you look at the Avengers, for example, Marvel, there's great diversity already. Africans, there's a couple of Eastern European people that are heroes. They're beginning to put Asian in the new run. Asians and Hispanics and Muslims, they're all going to get their own hero to join the Avengers. I think that's a bad thing. They're already in the comics, so people can't turn around and go, female Loki doesn't work. She's
already there. She's mythology.
They haven't done anything wrong. They've literally transported her from the comic book. Sorry, that's a long-winded way. Sorry about on your.
Yeah. No. Yeah, go for it, Troy.
No, I was just saying. It's literally that kind of makes sense. It could go. That's where I was going anyway. But then kind of. That's where I'm gonna go anyway. No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was kind of going, because it makes sense for the female character, because they're saying, they're making her the best Loki, because they kind of say she's the stronger Loki, the best Loki. So they kind of hit that home throughout the episode and throughout the couple episodes when they're chasing this Loki, the Sylvia Loki. Mm-hmm. So at the same time, Loki, he's doing his thing as well. At the same time, he's not obviously being bested. He just goes about it in different ways, more of a sneaky Loki. So he doesn't do anything like face up. He goes around it to try and get through the problem. That's what he does.
They haven't undermined him.
I got to go through the door. I got to destroy it, like face forward. You know what I mean? That's what she does.
Yeah. There's some YouTubers that I used to watch, and now I feel like they're just anti anything that's not a white man. They say they're not racist, but they clearly are, because they're complaining about female Loki. They're going, she's undermining him. I'm watching this show. She's not. He's talking to her like a regular character, and he's still the same clever character. They're not going, you're a stupid white man, so let's get stepped on by everyone. They've written it really well. Like, they're giving respect to every character going on. Like, no character's wasted. They don't. I think that's good writing. They're not serving any political view. They're just making an entertaining show. Now, shows that do have a political point, I've seen some films where it goes, men are bad. Now, that's not well written film. That's not subtle. Birds of Prey tried that. They did it in a good way, though.
Horrible.
Like Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn, for example, did that very well. Like, they didn't hit you over the head with it. But then I watched a show recently, and all men are rapists. Is basically every bad guy in this horror film was a rapist. The whole college campus hated women. I was like, that's outrageous. That's bullshit. That's BS. That's bullshit. Like, absolutely. Black Christmas. Don't go watch it. It's a horrific.
Chris, I want to see that. I haven't seen it.
I'm for women empowerment, but when it's every man is a rapist, I was like, I'm offended. I'm like, yo, no. Some guys are, but most men are decent people. It's completely on the wrong side.
What you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that perhaps the women who made this movie or documentary or whatever it is, maybe they've really gone through some really bad experiences, because otherwise I wouldn't understand why you would go to this extreme. So going back to when I was in, how do I say this? Because I'm not really that familiar with school system in the UK, to be honest. But I'll say when I was in my general school years, sort of. So that's from my 5th grade to my 8th grade. That was like between 11 to 15.
Okay.
Back in Romania, so something like that. I remember going through puberty and men in their 20s over. So I was like 11, 12, 13, something like that. And I was coming back home from school and I was being catcalled every day, like every corner, coming back, you know, it really does put a print on you. And if you go through even more traumatic experiences, this is like something I would say usual behavior, okay, that you would expect, unfortunately. But like I said, if you would go through more traumatic experiences, maybe that would stick to in your head. So I would never say like every man is a rapist, because that would put my dad in that category. No, my dad is a man. Every man, that would be, and I absolutely don't have that opinion about my dad whatsoever. So I would never go to that extent. But it just seems that without the correct environment or the correct guidance from the family, men seem to go more towards that sort of behavior without the proper education. I've not seen that movie or what you're talking about, Ben, but this is my thoughts, that perhaps that person really, or that group of people really had really bad experiences.
It was written interestingly by a man and directed by a man.
Yeah.
So it's not a woman. So
Yeah,
I want to find out why, because it wasn't like it's a good to see the female perspective. Don't get me wrong, but literally every guy was a bad guy, and I thought a couple of guys is fine. Right, I understand that, but every guy on college campus then start stabbing women in a cult. I felt it was so over the top. I found it hilarious. I started to find it funny and willing the women on instead to try and enjoy the film on some level, because I realized maybe this is just meant to be a comedy, because it's not played as a comedy though. It's played very straight. So the movie doesn't. I don't know what the movie's trying to tell me. Like if it was a comedy, fine. That is meant the bad guys are all going to get it, and it's not meant to be taken seriously. But I think they're trying to give me a message. I don't know.
There's messages everything you watch, man. Trust me, there's messages everything you watch. It was subliminal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna say, let's not forget that there are men out there who unfortunately have been abused. So that's not just something done by women. And I think that the highlight was more on women, because for a very long time the relationship between men of the same sex was not seen as appropriate, whereas now we all know it is, it's how you feel. You can't change the chemicals in your brain, you can't change how you were born,
perfectly normal.
But back in, I don't know, 50 years ago, people wouldn't think maybe about that. So men who were abused in the past, they just weren't seen, as people who were abused, unfortunately. So there are lots of cases. I'm not going to go into the Catholic Church. But lots.
It's gonna get deep. It's gonna get deep. It's gonna get deep. Don't do it.
Move it over here. Yeah, we're not.
But no, all I want to say is that the focus is on women, but it's not happening only to women. That was like where I wanted to get.
I think that's important you bring that up as well. Actually, that's a good point. So
I think I was reviewing something as well, and it's fucking similar to that. I told you again about it. But men get abused as well, not just like women. A lot of women are like, me, but at the same time, men get it as well. Like, obviously we don't report it. That's the thing about it. We don't report it.
And I think that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing, because you grow up and you're being taught, I can't cry. I must be like super strong emotionally. I must not show emotion. So actually, you're more traumatized than a woman. I'm not saying I should compare, because I shouldn't, but in the sense of keeping it all inside, I think men would be in the situation very, very, very. I don't know how to even describe it, but I think it would be really bad.
The manly thing is not to talk about it, but I would think it's toxic. Anyway, Troy, we've derailed you. Is there anything else? I'm so sorry. But we're having a conversation.
This is a group discussion. That's not mad.
No. This is good conversation. I mean,
Exactly.
But we were talking. Have you got another show that you would like to talk about? It's good to have this conversation now.
It's good. It's good. That's why we're here, man. That's why we're here. But I was originally just going to talk about Loki. That was like my main just one today. But I do have another one. Just it's gonna be a short one. It's gonna be really quick.
To review next week of the finale because I know it's going to happen. So.
No, trust me. You're gonna know.
We're going to call this the Marvel Weekly Review.
I love that a lot. That's what I'm going to say about that. But another one that I usually watch it's a CW show. It's Superman and Lois, man. We're gonna go simple today. We're gonna go simple. I usually go deep, but I'm gonna go simple today.
It's a good show.
Yes, it's really good. Oh my god, it's so good. The family aspect of the show is like very understated, but really good. Because usually I'm not into those kind of things, superheroes following the families around. Like, I don't care what they're doing. I want to see the powers. I want to see them flying around, hitting some villains. I want to see all that. Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm an action guy. Come on, I love that stuff. Flying around, laser beams, all that stuff. So, but him and Lois, Superman and Lois, that connection, my gosh, is deep. Even that, okay, obviously Superman gets his butt kicked like literally most of the time. Yeah, you know that happens. He's holding back, guys. He's holding back. He doesn't go full force, you know, how you do. But apparently he's got a brother in the show now. Apparently, yeah, he's got a brother, a long lost brother, someone who hit down Earth before him. You know how it usually goes in these spin-offs. Yeah, you know, in alternate timelines. Yeah, and apparently his brother's saying, "You have to join me, Kal-El. Join me. We'll take over the Earth." You know those usual ones, those bad guys, those basic ones, the Zod types.
I have a question. Does he have the dog? I know when you say
no, not yet.
Dog from the comics, just Crypto to go flying with.
Crypto's not in this one so far. No. No. He hasn't got a dog this time. He's got two sons. So originally he's got one son, but he's got two sons, Jordan and Jonathan. So those are his two sons. And usually Jonathan's got the powers, but they switched it around. So Jordan literally has the powers now of Superman. He's but at a lower level, but he's got the powers of the dad. So Jonathan's been left out, and I think at some point he's gonna get powers. But right now, they can't be focusing on Jordan because he's the outcast. You know what I'm saying? When he first saw him, he was having mental deficiency, mental problems because apparently now we know it's to do with his powers. All the mental stuff he couldn't do, he couldn't focus at school, blah blah stuff like that. ADHD.
It sounds like it's going to focus on being a kid, like not just being a kid, but like I got superpowers and my dad's like the
Superman. Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
That's going to be interesting to follow.
That's what it is. He's like the guy, but at the same time, I'm like, this guy's gonna be a villain. Jordan is gonna be a villain. I see it. He's a good kid and all that. He's a good kid, but you see the seeds.
That's a good way of doing it. Because I complain a lot about superheroes. You've done them a million times.
They've done it so well.
So when you got like someone like Wanda, who's from Eastern Europe, we don't know water. It's basically Kosovo. So basically, you're seeing that style of different worldviews, and you're beginning to see Marvel and DC do different backgrounds, not just like Superman, Batman. We know Batman's parents down that fucking alley. We've seen it in video games, movies. I hate that alley. I've seen his parents die more times.
You've seen that alley.
Euro 96. England beats Scotland 2-0, for example. Sorry, don't want to mention the football. But it's so cool to see like a kids whose parents are superhero mental attitude and stuff like this. I want to see more backgrounds from different layers. Like
the layers in the show is so good. The peel back. It's not that like flashbacks Sony's history like we usually do. Shows the whole history back. He's saving people. This time he's just like, okay, he's here. He's already around. He's saving people. He's already got his job. Now he might see a few flashbacks here and there, but literally that is about it. The rest of the time he's just doing his job.
In Runaways on Disney as well. Just sorry to cut in because it's Marvel. There's a character called Nika who's half Japanese, half American. She struggles with her parents are very Japanese, but she was brought up in America, so she's dealing with that. I'm not really identifying as Japanese. I'm more American. I was born here. I'm more.
I remember.
Trying to combat her American wildness instead of her Japanese stillness, and it's like that type of. That is for me interesting to see that lifestyle of someone different that I don't, not my skin color, but like just to see that different worldview. It's fascinating. I want to see more stuff like that. I want different.
I like because I enjoy that stuff like the next generation type of thing. But wow, the thing is, I like it because they got the actual established people around them. That's what I like. You got they're just in the background, but at the same time they're there. But obviously they might coming from time to time to kind of help out. But most of the time it's about the kids, like the generation. That's what it is. And I love that. Runaways was good.
Just enough to see Batman just park up his Batmobile. Oh, I'm having the kids this week. You have a nice weekend. He just looks after the kids. Wonder Woman turns up next week in the jet. I'll take the kids this week. You have a nice dinner. See you later.
Oh, it's time. It's time. But the thing is, this show has got a strikingly good balance. You think it'd be more for one or the other, but it's just like the happy medium with the show. You can't think, oh, I'm not seeing these guys too much. You don't get that feeling. Like I've seen the kids, I don't like them. I don't like the way Superman is. Lois is around too much. It's just like everything's like on the even level, which I like about the show.
Superman should not be grumpy. This is why the Zack Snyder.
This guy's happy as heck all the time.
Work. Superman is not grumpy. This is why the Zack Snyder Batman versus Superman doesn't. Batman is the gloomy one. Superman should be pure, innocent.
Bro, everyone was down on this Superman.
Yeah.
Everyone's down on this guy's casting Superman, yo. Tyler Hoechlin, bro. Everyone's down.
It's fine. It's just he's dark. Superman is not dark. He don't do dark Superman. He's just.
But obviously, there is times where he just goes. He just flexes up. He's like, oh yeah,
not all the time.
Yeah, when you get serious, you're like, you're like, yes. And you see, it's just like it's a great moment because all the time he's happy most of the time. Then you just get serious. You're like, yes. When he has to be serious, it's time. And you're like, yes, it's about to go down.
I'd just like to congratulate Lewis on surviving having sex with Superman. That would normally just. Congratulations to her.
This guy.
He's a sensitive lover. Well done,
Superman. You have to deal with it every week. You have to deal with it every week. It's stuff like this. But Superman and Lois, man. Oh, it's a great show. Got some Easter eggs in there as well. So anyone who reads the comics, stuff like that happens during the show. A character called Steel shows up. John Henry. Oh my days. Steel. Anyone knows the alternate Superman? Steel. He showed up in the show.
Film. There was an awful mid-90s film with Steel.
That was a trash version. We don't remember that. No one remembers this. No one remembers that. It's a race
movie.
But yeah, Superman Lois, so good right now. CW, check it out. Those are my two picks. Loki, Superman Lois.
That's pretty exciting. Well, I wanted to bring up a topic a bit on my bit. So, like, Iulia can, from her perspective as well, because you come
EU.
EU. Because I want to get your opinion on, like we do with Alex, like British television. Your unique insight in as well. So let me just start off because I like comedy without a laughter track. Okay. Now there's a difference. Now we got a lot of American viewers, so I'm not going to besiege American viewers. In England, we're a lot more restrained. We're not so. Americans are gloriously enthusiastic people, and I love that. But when it comes to sitcoms, I do think they laugh at everything that isn't funny sometimes. There is good comedy that deserves laughter, right? But I prefer comedy from America with no laughter track because it's funny, and it's the same with British comedy. I don't really like laughter tracks anymore because I feel like this is where you laugh, and if I don't laugh when they laugh, I feel like I don't get the show. If I watch a comedy without laughter, I can just kind of enjoy it a lot more. What do you guys think? Is it just me? Because I mean, there's a show I'm watching called New Girl, which is
Love New Girl.
Very famous. I think Iulia EU knows it as well. Iulia, I'm just going to give
it. I've watched it. Yes, just call me Julia. Oh.
Julia.
Nothing's called.
That's cool, Julia. Cool. Basically, like I started watching it on Netflix with the wife, because we want to try and watch things together a little bit more. And we have just started the first season. It's very different. It's obviously. There's a girl called Jess who breaks up with her boyfriend, and just immediately the first episode just throws us in. and she's a mess. She sings her own theme tune. She has a hot mate. We meet Nick, Smith, the other guy.
Oh, freak. What his name?
I forgot his name.
I've seen in a while.
Can I just shout out one thing? There is 2 different characters. Now, I know for a fact that the other black guy comes back in. In the pilot, there was a different black actor. And then in the second episode, they obviously recast because it was a pilot. In America, they do pilots. We don't do that in England. So sometimes they recast the role if the actors.
Yeah, they do that Lucifer as well.
But they say
You'll be surprised.
What
surprised.
What I love, though, is they say, oh, yeah, the other guy's gone. He'll be back soon. This is the other roommate comes back in. So they make it clear because they've done this in the past with black characters. They replace the character and just pretend it's the same person. And I always find that problematic. So at least they go, it's a different character. And I've seen later episodes where fans have like, I can't wait for the other guy to come back. So they literally have the other black guy interact with the other black guy to later on. So that's really thumbs up because that a lot of shows would just replace an actor and just act like it's a different person. It's the same person. I've always found that quite annoying. Just it's a different character. Just go with it. But like I love how grumpy Nick is because that is me. Nick is a grumpy sod. Now I think him and Jess are going to end up together. They all dating other people. I've done Nick's the one I identify with. I want to be Smith. Smith as like you know the confident one who takes his top off. But I'm not. But he's quite funny. And I just love the other guy. I can't remember his name, but he's always like looks very surprised at everybody else's reaction. And then there's the best hot friend. She's brilliant. I can't remember her name.
Oh,
Cece. Yeah, and her and Smith are getting together where we are. And I'm like, this is interesting because they're not quite compatible. And it doesn't work. Because Smith, I feel sorry for because he's trying hard. Again, I can relate to this. You want to fit in. He's not really a douchebag. He's just acting like an Afaria because he gets bullied at work. Like, they do things that make you relate to all these characters. Jess is just brilliant. Everyone is on in this. There's just great one-liners. It does what British comedy doesn't do so well. Like, we don't do the snappy one-liners like Americans do. They can just be sassy to each other all the time. It works really well. So what do you guys think about like this show and also sitcoms without a laughter track or with a laughter track?
Well, go on, you go first.
Do you find yourself being patronised into laughing? Do you feel guilty that you don't laugh?
Actually, it used to bother me, but then I watched Friends and it didn't really bother me.
It works with Friends because it's funny. Friends is funny.
And also they didn't have like a track just copy pasted or whatever. There was actually live audience laughing. So
yeah,
I think that makes a difference. If you are acting in front of a live audience, then that's different, I think, isn't it? Because then people will laugh at what they think it's funny instead of just copy pasting like a voice clip of some people laughing. You know, I don't know, but I don't think they do it anymore. Do they? I don't think they do it with so much laughter.
Yeah, they rarely. Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything. They rarely do stuff like that now. Yeah.
And in British comedy, I just think British comedy, it's a bit tricky to digest. It's a bit I don't know. It's very connected to your roots, right? So it's not very easy to be understood by people who are not British.
Yeah, we're very different to America. Americans are a lot easier to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not a bad thing. I really appreciate American shows like New Girl. And please don't think I'm slagging off America because, again, there's a lot of British comedies that I don't think are funny with a chat. Like, I could bring up Friends. There are lots of good sitcoms. Friends. Frasier, Big Bang Theory is funny. I know some people hate that show, but it is quite funny, and it shows that geeks can be funny and get girlfriends too.
That's a funny show,
so
yeah. Funny show.
That's fine. They laugh at it and with it. They never go too mean, right? You know. So I don't like How I Met Your Mother. I don't find that funny.
Yeah, I never found that funny. Neil Patrick Harris was the only good thing about that show for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of American sitcoms that are set in a house. They have more of a house style. How many times have you seen an American sitcom and there's just this front room and you're like, oh God, a couple, and you're like, oh, I've seen this, and they make a joke in a New York accent, like the New York accent, and you're like, you don't laugh. It's like, where's the bread spotty or something? It's like, and they are pissing themselves in the audience, falling over themselves laughing. So sometimes, I don't know. It's like I don't think it's me being British. It's just I don't, and it's the same with British. There's some ones like I'm going to slag off Mrs. Brown's Boys now on this side because it's absolute shit. It's not funny. If you're listening to the creator of this, no offense.
I didn't watch it.
No, don't watch it. It's the most horrible British comedy ever, and it's not funny. It's just like my mum loves it, but then again, my mum's not a barometer of good comic TV. She watches EastEnders, so I'm not shooting my mum either, but like she wouldn't know good comedy if it bit her in the backside. And there's not Going Out, which is the Lee Mack one. It's not funny again. Like, and I just want to know that I all my favorite comedies are ones without laughter tracks, except for Friends and Frasier. They creep in because the audience, it's a smart comedy, and people laugh. Like Janice turns up, oh my God, and like they do it sparingly. The audience's reaction to callbacks. Like Joey will go, how you doing? And he's going to do it, but he doesn't do it every week.
Yeah. I
want to know what makes a good sitcom with a laughter track. And I think Lilia EU's hit it because like it's about if the audience sounds
oh Iulia, I got you. Iulia, I got you.
2 years I've not been able to say her name.
Oh my God. Just think of you, Iulia. You know what I'm saying?
He's got it right as well.
Think of a Tekken character, so I think of her name as Tekken character, Iulia. You know what I'm saying? Like a computer game character.
Julia's right. Because
see, there you go. There you go.
Why don't you just say her name and I will just go insert name like Mike was like
just have my voice track. Iulia. You know what I'm saying?
It's right. See, it works. See, you say her name, I just follow it through. Are you available Monday to Friday to work for us, Troy?
yeah, I'm fine with that.
No, but like, I feel like I think it's because you're right, because I think the fake laughter you can tell from a mile away.
You can tell it's fake. You can easily tell it's fake.
That's most probably why a lot of American sitcoms do it. British sitcoms, we have an audience ingrained ever. We don't do fake laughter so much.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory, there's obviously an audience there because they're reacting to it. So now I've been able to, after you've mentioned it, now I can see why my favourite ones are my favourite ones and why the ones I hate are crap. But that still doesn't discourage Mrs. Brown's Boys and Not Going Out have been absolutely shit. So the BBC, I don't care if it's popular, so's EastEnders, and that's still shit. Just because it's popular, it's good. Take it off the air. Give me some more Doctor Who. Actually, Troy, have you heard? You know?
Yes, I have heard. Yes, I've heard, Ben. Yes, I've heard.
Have you heard of Doctor Who?
Yes.
Sorry?
Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, I've watched it. Up
Okay,
until the last season. I didn't watch the last season.
Why did you stop watching it?
I don't know, to be honest. I really loved Peter Capaldi.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I'm gonna cuddle you
I'm with you.
when I'm allowed to. Whenever this COVID thing's down, I'm giving you a big cuddle when social distancing is safe to. And some point next year.
I'm drive over there as well.
I think with Doctor Who, it's an emotional roller coaster because you get attached to this character, to this actor playing Doctor Who, right? So you got attached to David Tennant, and you're like, oh my God, he's so good. And then the next actor comes in. Sorry, I forgot his name.
Matt Smith.
Yes,
I liked him.
and he's good. He's good, but then you're always comparing him to David Tennant, and it's like, it's not the same. Je ne sais quoi. I don't know.
Every David Tennant show on this podcast, they keep taking the piss, but I think David Tennant's one of our best actors because he's so goddamn versatile. He's
was really good. I loved him. Like that's what got me into Doctor Who. Like
So,
Yeah, a lot of people
David
don't
Tennant
know.
got me into Doctor Who.
Christopher Eccleston was a really good first Doctor back.
He's my doctor. He's my favorite doctor. But
Really?
I give David Tennant his due. I give him his due. He's like he's definitive right now.
I love Eccleston because he's finally come back to Doctor Who for the audio plays. So officially, his Doctor's getting more adventures now, which the fans are really happy about because he
You know
did
why?
come back for the anniversary, and I've never forgiven you for it, Chris.
No, you know why? He's my favorite doctor. You know why?
When the special was on, I just wanted to see his big Manchester head. Hey, just pop up. Hey,
No,
Rose.
no, because he played such a serious doctor. That's what I appreciated from the Chris Eccleston doctor. He was a serious doctor. He went in there, got it done. He was like, I ain't no messing around. I was like, woohoo. He was never like that. He was like, no nonsense.
You know Matt Smith, Eccleston to Tennant. Again, every time there's a new Doctor, you get a bit nervous because that first 3 seconds. And Matt Smith, now a lot of people don't like him, but he's very different. He's very second Doctor. He's Patrick Charlton. He's childish. He's got more of a connection with the kids. He's got a big chin. He looks like an alien. He looks weird. Like Peter Capaldi, he looks a bit weird.
I loved Peter.
David Tennant's the sexy Doctor. That's fine. That's cool. He's alien in his interactions with humans because he doesn't quite get emotion well. But now I want to ask Jodie Whittaker because I think the writing is piss poor. I'm blaming the writer because he can't write his way out of a fucking paper bag. And I've called Chris Chinballs because he's shit. And I'm not throwing it so much at Jodie Whittaker, but I don't think she has the charisma of all the previous last couple of Doctors.
She's not very charismatic.
She's trying. It's not because you're a woman. I was excited when it was a female Doctor because I think it should have been. Go away, Fly. Sorry. Olivia Colman. There are so many good British actresses that could have done that role with charisma. And unfortunately, Jodie Whittaker is just a poor David Tennant.
Yeah, she's not very
trying.
Oh, that's her problem. The charisma isn't there. But
the problem is, and it's close to getting cancelled. The ratings are in the toilet, right? The biggest problem for me is she said, "Oh no, this is for women now, Doctor." I went, "You bitch." You bitch. We've supported this show. We've always been inclusive. Doctor Who fans are brilliant. We are so inclusive. The Doctor Who fans got very excited when a female Doctor came in. It was mostly positive. They're like, cool, let's go with this. And she hasn't quite hit the standard, unfortunately. What do you guys think? Because I am close to quitting, but I know Jodie Whittaker's buggering off at the end of the next season. She's gone. I wanted to talk to you about the rumours of the new Doctor is a gay actor. He was in It's a Sin. Now, a lot of people are moaning, but it's not. A lot of people are happy because it's a man again, I think. They're just like, yay! He's got a penis. Let's go! Penis in the TARDIS again. And like I've heard people go, the new season is going to be the vagina TARDIS because there's no penises on board for the first time ever. And then John Bishop gets added, for the new season. So, why did you stop watching season 11, Julia? Because, it sounds like you had a problem with the writing and Jodie Whittaker, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure why I stopped watching, to be honest. I didn't actually decided, oh man, this is shit, I'm not going to watch. I actually did not have a chance to watch even the first episode. So I can't really say anything on the writers or the acting of Jodie. I don't know. But actually, I can't remember. I don't think it was a decision. It was just like I got into something else.
Did you watch any clips? Any just random clips anywhere? You watch her walking around, talking.
Looking like a children's presenter with a fucking awful.
She's like a BBC presenter for real. She does.
Oh God! It's like, hi kids.
Hello,
I'm the McDonald's expert.
Really? Is it that bad?
She looks like a children's presenter or a professional paedophile that is trying to get kids to come with her in a van.
I mean, to be honest, it's like in a comedy show, right? You have a few people come in to do stand-up comedy, and then you kind of know who's gonna go first, who's gonna go second, third, and last, right? So
Mm.
it's always a fear when you come after someone really good. Am I gonna live up to the expectation? And come on, coming after Peter Capaldi, that's
I was
already
scared.
like a kick in
Yeah,
the, you know,
um,
it's really, really difficult to live up to that expectation. And especially being the first Doctor Who woman ever, you know. It's
It works because the thing is, there's a woman that's turned up to be another doctor, a lovely actor called Joe Martin. The lovely thing is, right, they did like they did with John Hurt, a forgotten doctor, right? And she's the fact that she's a black woman, nobody mentioned it. She just went, "Wow, she's a lot better than Jodie Whittaker, isn't she?" She acted it off the fucking screen. So, Jodie, there was like a really nasty
the
attack.
truth.
Jodie Whittaker, fuck off, like hashtag
The
fuck
truth.
Jodie Whittaker.
I was like, can
Joe
we just swap her,
Martin.
please? Just swap her, please.
Everyone loved this new female doctor.
Yeah.
She's got a gun. She's got balls, basically. She's like, "Yeah, I'm the doctor, bitch," but with a gun. And you're like, "What happened to this doctor? Where did she come in?"
Yeah.
And nobody once mentioned she was another female doctor or black. It was just like, "Yo, that's the doctor."
See, that's the key right there. Not mentioning it. That's the
You
key.
need to go, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Sorry. And they've now made her. What I'm not happy with is they've revealed the origin of the Doctor. You never do that. You never, ever, ever do that because the mystery of the Doctor is we don't need to know the Doctor's origin. So this is why me and Troy most probably nearly quit Doctor Who because they did. The Doctor is not from Gallifrey. She's from another alien world, and she had regenerative energy and gave it to all the Time Lords. She was tortured. She was a black, Asian, Hispanic, Muslim, white boy and girl. They literally tried to shoehorn in every PC thing in because they've literally done this on Twitter. Have you ever felt held back by your gender before?
Yeah.
And she's in front of all the male doctors saying I'm better than men. So the BBC have really, because of this PC and the stories that are like men are evil, and this doctor's going, this is why I'm a woman now because I'm sick of being a man. You're like, yo, you need to stop that now because women are feeling really repulsed by it now. You're losing female viewers. They don't want to see that. You could have just had her be a witty, smart woman, but you're making her a man hater. It's just a complete toxic thing. I hate it. Would you like to quickly see a picture of her? Hold on.
The pictures now.
Yeah. Look at this child.
Oh, I know how she looks. I've seen her in the news. I know how she looks.
Okay, right. Well, that ends that then. Yeah, it's awful. But yeah, sorry for my thing. I was so excited when she came on. I thought, yes, a woman doctor. This is awesome because it's not another guy. And the thing is, it was smart because she wouldn't be compared to Capaldi so much. I was like, because I remember me and Troy were joking, whoever's after Capaldi is fucked. This show's going to get cancelled because Capaldi was so good. Like, every time you see the next Doctor, Matt Smith, they're fucked. Capaldi, right, they're fucked after Capaldi. Whittaker, yeah. I think now whoever's following Whittaker will be an improvement. So,
it's not improvement regardless.
I don't care if it's a man or a woman, straight, gay, whatever. And by the way, media, it doesn't matter. He's the first gay actor. She's the first woman actor. We don't care. Just get the right person in. Let them be a person, not define them by their sexuality, please. Because I think that's a bit disrespectful. And a lot of people complained about that. Not about him, because he's a good actor. They go, why do you have to keep pointing out he's gay? Why do you keep pointing out Jodie Whittaker's the first female doctor? We know she is. You don't. She's the doctor. Just call her with respect. The doctor.
That's the problem. That's what people don't like. That stuff. They push that agenda first, and then what about the acting and the character afterwards? Yeah. That's the problem.
So many people just want. Yeah, we know he's gay, but he's actually said, I wish they would just say, this guy's going to be the new doctor. Don't bring my sexuality. He's even said it online. Please don't, tabloids, don't say I'm gay.
Yeah,
I'm gay, but you don't need to make a big deal out of it. I'm gay. That's cool. Just say I'm the next doctor. If you want to say that, then just define me by my acting.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
She's smart. Yeah.
He would be a good actor. He's brilliant. And he's campy. Bit of David Tennant campy. I have that. Thank you very much. Have a bit of fun again with it.
Which actor are we talking about? Because you've never said their name.
I can't remember. Let me just
Get
find
a picture up.
Yeah, he's really cool. And I watched this scene. It's about the AIDS crisis in England in the 80s and 90s. Oh God, where is he? I'm just talk while I'm Googling, otherwise this is really bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I want Idris Elba. Can he be the next one?
Ah, there we go. Go on, Iulia.
I fear he's
That's
too
what I'm
big for
talking
it
about.
now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because he's massively big now.
Oh,
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
But I want it to be James Bond. Ollie Alexandra.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, man. That James Bond stuff, that looks like it's not gonna happen.
I think it should be a black Bond. Come on, man. Idris Elba. Do it.
That ain't ever gonna happen, bro. Like, that's one of the things I don't see ever happening.
If you put it female, you're gonna set people off again. We see this time and time again. Don't kill all the male roles. Even if it's Idris Elba, people will go mental for it because they won't care. He's black. He'll be like, fucking A actor, and he's British.
Everyone loves him. Come on, let's be
Everyone,
serious.
he's the man. Come on now. Come on now, he's the man.
Be my dad if it's possible.
He's
not
everywhere.
possible. I wish he was my dad, and I'm not even black. I wish he was my dad or something. So there's one more show I wanted to talk about. I'm so glad. See, me and Julia are getting closer as friends now because she's like. There's another show. Very quickly, I'm updating like you did with Loki. There's a show called The Naked Director season 2.
Oh no, just me. He loves this. Naked Director.
Yeah, I do. Like you keep bringing up Marvel, I'm bringing this up.
So, bro, twice into me.
Naked Director is about the porn industry in the 80s. Is a man called Murashi. He tries to put porn all over Japan in video shops, and they film exciting porn where he will film a woman having like putting her legs around a man, and they run off down the street having sex, and they run up the apartment and follow him. And there's been outrageous amounts of. It's really funny, and it's about it's based on a real life story. It got really big on Netflix for a non-speaking English speaking show, which is great. It got a big audience season 1, and we saw him deal with the Yakuza and like do porn scenes in a helicopter. And for a Japanese show, it was very much like British people. We see a lot of boobies and bums in our shows because we don't have the censorship issue like America does. And it was very un-Japanese. And it was like, whoa, even as an Englishman, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, but it's really funny. It's brilliant. It sounds dirty, but it's really funny. And it's just really good, well-written characters. So I'm watching season 2. So I'm just going to update it now. Troy, have you been watching it?
Trust me, I have not been watching it. I've been watching so many shows by now.
So we were talking last week because there's this woman who's becomes a famous porn star with him. And because Japan is they hammer you down to stay in one place to be a uniform, basically. Yeah. Like they don't want individuality. It's frowned upon. So this woman was like armpit hair. Like, yeah, I've got armpit hair. And like, don't no. You can lick it if you want. And she's like talking about vaginas and just really open with her sexuality. It's quite funny. It's really funny. I make it sound a lot dirtier than it is. But it can also be light-hearted as well. Like the scenes get quite silly. And last week Tara just told us about we threw it over to her about body image and like how women are portrayed. So season 2, there's more female company. The females are still strong, and not all of them are porn actresses, which is a really nice touch. There's like a hairstylist. But the thing is, he was always cocky in season 1. Really, like I'm the best. Yeah. And I always wondered, at some point, people are going to want to punch you in the face because you're a prick. Actually, you are a prick. You're a rock star, but you're a prick. Actually, like you're going to get your teeth knocked out. So season 2, you start to see he's getting a bit cocky because now satellite TV, he wants to rain sex from space. This is like one of the great things he does. Goes on TV and goes, I want you to see all the vaginas and penises come from the sky, basically. Like, boom.
Oh my God.
This guy's got the best speeches in TV history, I swear to God, because he's so enthusiastic about sex. But everyone's telling him there's a lot of money involved in getting onto a satellite channel. You're not big enough yet. And all the characters were left in certain places. Now, a lot of shows, if a character's plot point is done, they get out the show. You wonder, have you ever finished a show and gone, where are all those other characters? Where did they go? I like to know where all the characters end up at an end of a show. It's kind of rude to slap a character out for a plot point and then
go, so you're out of here.
This show doesn't do that. This show, season 2, if a character just appears, they come back into the plot somehow. They always seem to bring back a member of a character. We follow them with what they're doing. So he starts to lose the guy who does the money because he feels he's given 100 million yen to actresses for porn shoots. And already subtly, you can see the guy's going, yo, what are you doing? Like, we can afford it. He's like, yeah, but we need a plan. You can already see he's gone, you need to think ahead. You're doing all these plans. You're not financially planning it out with me, your accountant. Okay? Satellite, we need to plan ahead. That's a lot of money. We need a financial plan. And this time, now you're beginning to see already in episode 1 of season 2, he's not listening to the team that got him to where he is. The porn actress, who's now his girlfriend, she wants to do more porn videos. He doesn't want her to do any more porn videos. He wants to focus on the new generation. Basically, calling her old hag. Right. So you're already beginning to see he's pissing off the directors. He's pissing off the makeup artists. They start to leave him.
Yeah.
Right. This is the thing. And he starts to get desperate. And there's a character called Toshi from last season who joined the Yakuza at the end. Now, you see him in the start of season 2. He's completely not the sexy boy anymore. He looks like shit. He looks like he's been sleeping in a toilet. His hair's all damp. He just looks miserable. He doesn't want to be a Yakuza. He really doesn't want to hurt people to get money for his boss for them. And they've managed to keep every character isn't bad, good and bad. They've all got bad and good points about them. Even the Yakuza boss has good points about him. He's a businessman. He's got rules. And I love a show where it's great. Everyone is good and bad, right? When none of us are perfect. And there's none of this good boy, bad boy thing. And I really appreciate that about this show. There's horrible things happen to these characters in season 2. But it still has that lightheartedness somehow. And I don't know how they've done it. And what I do like is at the end, they don't go back to him. He's on his own. Like they don't do this cheesy bullshit ending of, and they all come back together and had a cuddle and they forgave him for being a dick. And there was one bit where I thought the big rugby guy was going to punch him in the face. And the rugby guy, it shows big muscular men aren't always, they're sensitive. And he just did that. Slapped him in the face and said, have a good life, and walks off. And you're like, he's crying.
Is that how season 2 ends?
Yeah, rugby, the big boy. They call him rugby.
Ben, you just spoiled season 2 for me.
No, I'm not spoiling nothing.
You
were meant to watch it this week. But basically, they all come.
I told you.
I'm not spoiling.
Troy, the fault is yours. You haven't watched it yet. Why aren't you up to date?
No.
But I'm not spoiling the fates of the characters.
Oh, sure.
So basically, where the characters all end up is they don't forget any character. I felt I would like a season 3, but you've left it where you can walk away from it now, because I think all the interesting stuff in this man's life has been covered in the first 2 seasons. So if they were to do a 3rd season, they could pick it up again.
Okay.
But I think sometimes it's good to leave it at 2 seasons. If that's your storyline, leave it. I'm selfish. I want a 3rd season. I don't like a show that runs too long, but I'm happy if they leave it here. I'm 16 episodes, and it feels like it's amazing how we talk about Game of Thrones occasionally and the massive journey that you feel like these characters go on. I don't think Game of Thrones does that because it's so goddamn slow. This show doesn't go too fast, right? There's a middle ground. Some shows go so fast, you think, hold on, where's the character development? We're skipping decades. What? But this show has feels like in just 16 episodes, it's done 7 seasons, and we've done 70 episodes, and we've come so far. And yet all we've done is 16 episodes, and I don't know how the show's done that. So I just want to big up the naked director one more time. I won't be bringing it up next week because I finished.
I hope they do it because you sound so passionate about it.
I know. You sound so passionate about it. Oh my days.
But it challenges perception on women. And if you're a porn star, it's their choice. And is there anything bad about being a porn star? And it looks at women's trade in it. And it does the character stuff. Now, a lot of people are disappointed because they went, oh, where's all the funny porn stuff? Because people, the good character work is there from season 1. What they've done is they downplayed it a little bit. They've decided it's all about the character interactions from the first season, how fractured they are now. And I think that's the beautiful thing. You've actually done your biggest strength. You've decided people really love our well-written characters. Let's do that again. There's a great bit where they're planning that they don't do this. This is the best bit. This isn't spoiling it for you. Outdoor sex on a car roof. And they take over a whole bridge. And you see the miniatures.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to see that. Just for the of them. They don't do it. So that's not spoiling it. But people complained about it. I'm like, well, no. Like, they could have got in trouble for that outdoor thing because it's not a set, right? If that's a real bridge in Japan, I'm sure the Japanese police would have something to say about
Yeah,
that.
you know that'd be a problem
If you
over
tried
there.
that outdoors, you would get arrested. So, like, yeah, I love this show, and it's good to see a Japanese show. Netflix is doing a really good job now. A lot of Eastern European and Middle Eastern stuff is coming over to Netflix now. People have complained, but it's not. It's cool to have different languages and not just have English-speaking shows. Hey, so keep it up, Netflix, because you're making me try out Bulgarian, Norwegian stuff, Russian stuff, Italian stuff, Spanish, Mexican stuff. I love that. Thank you.
Can I just say that I really grew up watching movies only with subtitles.
Okay.
And now, even when I watch a movie in Romanian, I feel like I need subtitles. Otherwise, I don't understand, even in Romanian, okay?
I need it with Scottish people. So when Peter Capaldi came on Doctor Who, going back to Doctor Who quickly, he had such a big Glasgow accent. I had to subtitle Peter Capaldi because he's not got what David. I'm not mocking it. Tom would agree with me. He's Scottish.
Yeah, I understood most of what he said because I got Scottish ancestors.
I had to subtitle Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who run because I wanted to understand what he said. Because sometimes the accent's so thick, you kind of like, ha.
No, that wasn't it for me. For me, it's I don't know. I think that my hearing when watching a movie is not that I don't know. Maybe it's not working properly because I've been watching movies just with, I mean, obviously always with a subtitle because movies are going to be in other languages. I mean, there are Romanian movies, but the majority of the movies you're going to watch are in English. Yeah. So there's always going to be subtitles. As a Romanian speaker who doesn't speak English, so to say, it doesn't understand English. Yeah. So I think that even after I've learned English, the need for the subtitle is still there because I feel maybe I can't hear whispered words, or I don't know, the background noise is too loud and I can't hear what the person's saying. So I'm always like relying on the subtitles, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously 99% of the time I can still understand without subtitles, but I feel, I don't know, I'm not fulfilled if I can't have subtitles.
No, I'm with you because I did editing and stuff at college. So sometimes levels are off in movies or shows where the background atmos noise would be like too loud or something like that. So I'm a stickler for that. If something's too loud in the back and I can't hear anything, I'm like, I need to hear what they said. I missed something. I'm like going back with the subtitles on. Damn it. I'm like that as well. I'm like that.
Background noise, like if someone's far away and a character's walking, there's like background noise on the TV, and like I don't know if it's my TV and I need a new TV with more bigger speakers, but like it's weird because the subtitles, Admiral Naked Director, the subtitles, I can't hear that. My wife's like, she's Japanese and she can't even hear the Japanese. I'm like, why is the sound mix so awful? I mean, surely you should.
No, especially in action movies, every time there's like an action happening, like a whoosh or something, that's all you can hear. Suddenly you can't hear the conversation two people are having. And I think this is how they do it in every movie. I don't know why. Maybe for the intensity of the woo action, they want to put an accent on that rather than on the conversations. But then you're losing.
Yeah, I don't always like to watch TV with my headphones on 24/7 because of my hearing. Like I have it for music occasionally on the way to work, but I don't want to spend all my life listening for headphones because eventually it's going to knacker your ears out. So, like, yeah, fix it, Netflix. It's always your fault. Only your fault. Missing ghosty lines.
But I'm talking about any movie, not just Netflix.
No, she just say any. Yeah, she say like.
Yeah. But it is a good point. There's sometimes I always put subtitles on everything now just to avoid it.
Yeah.
Careful. Then I can concentrate. I can keep an eye on the TV. Some shows you don't need it. If it's a British show or American show, if I can hear them, I would just. But if it's an accent, then I need to kind of, especially Japanese. I've got very good at reading them and like flickering the eyeball so I can keep an eye on all the movement on the screen so I can see what's going on.
And I used to watch a lot of anime anyway, so I'm always used to watching like subtitles going across the screen. So I'm like, it's subtitles. I'm like, yeah, it's nothing for me. It's nothing. It's easy for me.
Is there any shows you want to talk about or anything?
Me?
Yeah, Julia. Yeah.
I don't know. I've watched the first season of Sweet Tooth. Anyone did watch it?
Oh, Sweet Tooth.
I haven't watched that yet because it's based on a comic book I love. Oh my god!
Yes, I remember Ben. I talked about it the other day. Yeah, there we go.
Talk about it. How do you think it's?
Go on, Iulia. Go on, Iulia.
It looks really good. Like it's exactly like I've read the comics. The characters because they've done it faithfully. I'm really excited.
So good.
So I walked into this without knowing of the comic book, without knowing. I just walked in. Okay, number what in UK? Whatever. It's there. Okay, let's watch it. And I'm a sucker for fantasy, so I'm into fantasy movies 100%. And anything that's more of supernatural as well. That's I'm not a Twilight fan, but I do love a good sort of fantasy, story behind it. I like this idea of, having powers and magic and, thinking maybe every human can have this power, but we don't know yet because we only use 3% of our brain.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yes, you're speaking to me. Oh my God.
I've recovered from throwing up in my mouth when you mentioned Twilight. I just
come on, don't ruin it, man. Don't ruin it.
But
I wanted to mention that I'm not towards that direction because people kind of be like, "Oh, you're into vampires and stuff." No, it's not like that.
Yeah, Ben's just like walking off. He's like,
vampires and zombies have been done. Okay, sexy vampire zombies, stop it now. Anyway, so we talk about Sweet Tooth, Julia. Sorry.
Yes. Sweet Tooth. So I walked into that not knowing what to expect, and then I realized actually it's very sort of similar in a sense to our situation with COVID-19, except there it's virus HG5 something, 58 something, maybe. I can't remember exactly the name of the virus, but it's pretty much people looking as if they have the common flu. They're called the sick.
Yeah.
The shake.
Yes, the shake. So I'm guessing it's a combination between COVID and shingles. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, something similar to that. Yeah, I guess. A little
anyway, it just makes it look pretty bad, and then people die because of it. And around this time where people start getting sick, every woman who's pregnant seems to deliver babies that are half human, half animal.
Yeah.
And they don't know where it's coming from. So everyone's scared, they don't want this kind of child. People abandon their children. They don't know how to deal with this kind of stuff. They don't know, is this something virus is causing it? Is this what caused the virus? They don't know. So it's, how humans are, and this is, I think, the reality. Whenever there's something unknown, it's just like war.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everyone just stepping on each other, and pretty much, yeah. And then there's this guy at the beginning of the season carrying a baby, moving into the woods. Am I giving too much?
No, I've read the
No,
comic.
no. Literally, you're giving nothing away.
He's
Literally.
watched it,
Okay.
and I've
seen it,
read the
I've seen
book,
it.
so you can't really spoil
Yeah.
it for me because I know where it goes.
Yeah.
I've read all the 5 volumes.
Ah,
So
cool. Wow. All right.
Yeah, he's the book man. I'm the watcher.
Yeah.
I'm the watcher. Yeah, he's the book man.
Yeah,
Netflix is
so
taking
this guy with the baby, just you see them walking into the Yellowstone Park, and you're thinking, what the hell is going on? It's just like really like The Purge, behind in the background. So you have to focus on this man and the baby, and behind him it's just like the whole world is on a purge, pretty much. Anyway, and then the majority of the first episodes are focused on the man raising this child. They're just by themselves in the woods. And then, everything's going well. They're doing crops, they're doing whatever. It just seems like very self-sufficient. And one day, oh yeah, and obviously there's this fence that they've created of barbed wire or something that they know they should never cross. So the kid knows. He's half deer, half human. Yeah. So he has like the super hearing, and the sense of smell that's, more intense than what humans have. So yeah, basically he knows I shouldn't cross the fence. I should stay within my perimeter. Da, 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 da. And then one day, this man comes by their fence, and for some reason, they're there. They're close. They're close to the fence, and they interact. Well, the papa interacts with
Papa.
this man. Papa.
Oh, that's such a cute kid. I'm not really into like
I
child actors like
know.
that. But that's a
Yeah,
cute kid,
no,
man.
it's
That's a
it's
cute kid.
really
You
I'm
guys
like, oh,
really
this
cute
kid
kid.
is cute.
you guys are gonna fucking cry because I know the road that is going down.
Oh, don't do that, Ben. Don't do that.
Don't
You're
spoil.
gonna be crying. You're gonna be loving this show because it's gonna make you care.
Oh,
It's gonna be.
I
No,
feel depressed now. I feel depressed.
but already you can feel, obviously the action revolves around Gus, who is the name of the hybrid, half deer, half human. And it, so far it gives you this feeling of warmth, family love, and then sort of like, oh my God, poor babies left alone because Papa dies of the sick, because they're being marked because of that, after that interaction with that man. So it's, I don't know, after that everything's happened really quickly. Like, well, it's been a year. This Gus has been living by himself, being self-sufficient, not going outside the perimeter, and so on. And then one, he decides he's gonna leave to North Carolina. No, Colorado.
Colorado.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Colorado. Why did I say Carolina? Never mind. Colorado. Because his dad left him a box with some money, some keys, a photo of his mom.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Mom. Yeah.
And so he decides he's gonna go to his mom in Colorado. And then he packs his bag. He kind of does his map. Oh, this is where I'm gonna do. This is where I'm gonna go. Does his provisions, and then off he goes. He like has a cart with him where he put all his luggage and stuff. And then he wants to go outside the perimeter. And closer to the perimeter, there's these what's it called? Not hunters.
what do they call them? They call them not ravens. They call them special name for them. Special name for them. I can't remember.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, but yeah, hunt. The hunts.
Poacher.
Poacher. Yeah.
Poacher.
Were they poachers?
Yes.
Then you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poacher.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, so they these poachers basically part of the last man army who supposedly they're in control of the world at the moment and they want hybrids out the way or they're using hybrids for other purposes. So hybrids in the world that Gus lives now are pretty much hunt down.
They're called the preserve.
The preserve. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
poachers, you're correct.
poachers, yeah. So basically, Gus tries to leave. Then these two men try to lure him with some candy bars.
Yeah.
He's really scared. Falls for it, but then this really big man comes into the picture
The big man.
and sort of rescues him.
He's a big dude. He's muscled. Like I would start a fight with him.
Alonso, man. That guy's a great actor, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think they're a really, really good match. Whoever did the casting was really good.
The casting is incredible. I was like this when I saw the cast, I was like, my gosh, that's what I see.
Yeah,
Not the clap.
yeah.
I was like, amazing casting.
It could be the new Stranger Things in terms of popularity because it's like, and I can see them because there's 5-6 volumes. They could easily do 4 or 5 seasons of this show. Like it ran for like 12 volumes, I think, 13 volumes. So, like, there's plenty of material for a whole 5-6 seasons at least.
Well, in any case, I was really impressed to find out that the pilot was and the story, obviously, not knowing it came from a comic, please bear with me. That it was not filmed during COVID time because obviously the season 1 landed right in our beautiful pandemic world. It kind of makes you feel I can relate to this. Like there's a scene where he and Big Man go to find some food and they go to this tourist center in Yellowstone Park and there's this family living there off of cans and stuff. And when they first meet them, they're wearing face masks and you're like, ooh, this is definitely COVID related, but it's not. It's totally unrelated because it was filmed before COVID times. But it just makes you feel like, oh yeah, I've been there. I've been in that situation where I'm meeting someone maybe and for a beer and I'm a bit like, should I take this off? Do I drink the beer with my mask on? What's happening, So
yeah, it's weird.
it's not a funny moment, but in my head it was really funny.
Yeah, you're watching, you're like, is this related to the COVID era? I'm like, is it?
Exactly, yeah. But anyway, it's really, really fantastic the way they made it about Gus and made about family in a sense. I don't know. It's very heartwarming. I don't know. It's I really liked it. I think I binged watched it in like 2-3 days.
Yeah, that's a good show.
So easily bingeable. It's like one of the most easily bingeable shows ever. Like that show is because episode by episode, boom, 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 episode gone.
Yeah.
Finished.
Yep. And then I was like, oh my god, it's finished.
I know. I'm like, no. I was like, no.
There's nothing worse if you realize you've benched something. You get like I had that with Naked Director. Like, we got to the last 2. I was like, oh, they didn't fucking extend the episode count by 2. Why is there only 8?
2 more episodes.
Why is there only 8 episodes? What's wrong with this company? Why can't you do 13? I don't want 24 episodes a season because I think that's too long. But you could give me 10, 13, just 13, 5 more, and then I want 16. A good show like that. It's like Naked Director for me. Once you're in that show, you're binging it. There's nothing better than that new show that you fall into and just follow through. I'm so happy Sweet Tooth has done really well. And I'm really happy for Netflix because they're doing all the non-superhero comic books. And that is what I love because I've on this podcast been lambasted for hating superheroes quite a bit because I think it's all been done. It's a bit boring now. You see, Troy still loves it all, but I feel like,
I'm fine.
how many Spider-Man do we need now?
Sorry, but I stick with Tobey Maguire. I don't know about you guys.
Tom Maguire is the guy. He's the king of Spider-Man. Let's go.
He's the OG.
Yes, OG. That's
He's
what
the
I'm
old
talking about.
GOM now. He's the old man.
He's the OG.
But
No can touch
like,
Toby.
when I see these indie comic books get adapted, Netflix and Amazon are taking a lot of them. It makes me very happy because most of them have been really good. And it's not about being a superhero. And it shows other people like The Walking Dead and everything like that. This is from the same place. Like the Umbrella Academy on Netflix again is from the same stable as Sweet Tooth and the boys on Amazon. These shows all come from independent comics. And it makes me really happy to see how faithful. There's a lot more to come as well. Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix is again another one from the same company. Sandman. We're in a moment now where all these great independent comic books are coming to Netflix and Amazon. And I cannot wait to see how they all do. Because I really do think they're going to nail the shit out of them.
Jupiter's Legacy got cancelled, by the way.
Huh?
Got cancelled. It annoyed the heck out of me. I was so upset.
What?
They cancelled Jupiter's Legacy. Cancelled.
The bastards.
Done.
I came out Newcastle there. Sorry.
Gone.
Bastards. See, Netflix, you got to give it a couple of months for the viewing figures. You can't just do it in 1 week, bro. The problem is Netflix don't give it time. I rushed to watch Naked Director season 2 in the first week because I want them to get because they do it on the first week, and I think it's so outdated. You should see how it does in the first month, I think, because there's been so many shows cancelled on Netflix because they're competing with themselves.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Sweet Tooth will be safe because it's #1 everywhere. So that
Sweet
means
Tooth's fine. Yes, that's fine.
Sweet Tooth will come back for a second.
Because you know why? Sweet Tooth is not very expensive to make. Jupiter's Legacy apparently costs like 200 something million to make. So that's why.
The problem is there's all these Too Hot to Handle is a shit show, and that's got really popular. And it's sometimes people just watch the shittest stuff on Netflix to give it a second to.
Yes, popular.
I'm really glad something like Sweet Tooth has come through because they didn't really advertise it. It's found its way like big time, and I'm really happy to see people taking a chance on a new show.
But the thing is with Sweet Tooth that it's something that it could potentially happen. You know, you already have the part of the pandemic, and let's not get into the whole genetic, you know. But I just feel like it could be totally relatable in the future, in a distant future, you know, having half human, half animal, sort of new breeds of humans, hybrids, whatever. I can totally see that happen on Earth, you know.
That would be an interesting world to live in, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The world of so what was it called, that series with Spider-Man where he goes into another
multiverse? Into the multiverse.
I forgot the name of the actual.
I've just told you the title.
It's you Googled it.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, thank you, yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Where it's just like a few people, everyone else is like human minotaur or something, or other animals.
Like Pig Spider-Man, stuff like that.
and then all humans are slaves to them, isn't it? Something like that. They all have like chips in them, but not the animals.
It's a good show. I'm really going to go watch it. So this will be the third week in a row Sweet Tooth comes on next week because I'm going to talk about it now.
Okay.
So it's like Naked Director. It's not going to leave the show. It's not going to leave the podcast for like a whole month.
Yeah, it does finish in a bit of a
Yeah.
It's getting a second season.
But it does give you hope that things are getting better.
And the guy that wrote the show said, "Yeah, I'm following the plot line of the comic books." He said, "We know exactly." He said, "The good thing is we know exactly where to end. Hopefully, we get the fan base on board and we can just get all the way through the volumes." And then they said, "We're going to do 5 seasons at least, and if we can get to 5 seasons, we're going to end it, and that will be it. And that's the right length because you can do a couple of volumes a season and get to it." and they don't want to do any more after that. So if they do it faithfully, I know exactly where we're going. So I'm going to keep spoilers away from both of you because I love the comic books. I could go get some artwork now and stick it on the screen.
This guy doesn't know a good screen.
Okay. Well, thank you to everyone for the picks today. I just wanted to just do a quick email. We've got Raj from Bangladesh, new country added to the Syndrome family. Hello to our Bangladesh followers. Hello. What is the worst TV show you've ever watched?
Oh, that is a good question.
Like most overrated show. Like, what is the show that you thought would be really good, like everyone loves, but you thought Lost? So I'm just going. I said it before. It's Lost.
The easy one.
Lost.
The easy one. Lost.
My brother. I think I'm going to tell you this now, Julia. I've told everyone else. My brother went on for months about going and watch Lost. It's the greatest show ever. All 6 seasons. I watched it with him, and I did try and ask my parents to get him kicked out of the family and get him because there's no way this man could be this stupid to think this is a good show. It was okay the first couple of seasons, and they obviously didn't know what they were doing because they just kept bolting on. They didn't answer the questions. You can then ask more questions, but at some point you've got to answer the questions, the original questions, and then do some more. That's fine. But they just kept banging on more questions, and you're like, what's what anymore? And it was the most bullshit. Yeah, I'm spoiling the ending because I don't want people to watch it. They're all dead. It was a dream. Fuck off. Get out of here. Fuck your dream sequence. Sorry, my language. I just hate that. It's so lazy. Sorry. I don't swear much.
Oh,
damn.
I can't even think of any because pretty much once I realize they're not good, that they just delete.
Yeah, just stop him like,
you
yeah,
don't waste your time.
Shift delete, you know.
Yeah, just delete.
On your style. I watch shows sometimes on Legacy, and Dave told me Game of Thrones is good. I got bored after the second season because I was like, this is so slow and boring. It's just people on a horse going from one place to another. They don't fix the characters enough. It's just people talking in a throne room. That's not exciting. Nothing happens. It's just people talking to each other.
It's all about the law. With Game of Thrones, it's all about the law. I'm into that stuff. The law.
But I agree from this point of view. Like after the Red Wedding, everything kind of went downhill for me. That was like the epic for me. That was like
that was the pinnacle. I gotta admit that was the thing.
That's it. Afterwards, it's just kind of meh, you know.
Everyone's had a go at me for that. Everyone's had a go at me for not liking it, but I stand by it. If you like it, that's great. I can see it's well written, great characters, but like some characters don't. They go on a journey in season 1. They're not there by season 6. What the fuck are you doing? Like, does it take 5 seasons to get that person there? I'm not asking for Ferrari to turn up and drive them or plane. Just like get the plot going a bit quicker. Get them there by season 2 at least. Like, why are they taking 5 seasons to cross a field? Come on. Snaps. Sorry.
Man, I love it. The passion. I love it. I love it.
Season 3 or 4, not 8. Like, what? Why? Sorry. I have problems with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so there's lots of TV series that I found it very interesting in the beginning, and then I kind of got bored of it. Like, maybe you're gonna hate me for this.
Okay. I'll brace myself. I'm just doing a little stretch. I'm stretching right now. Okay, go on. I'm ready.
Right. Don't be so ready because I forgot the name of it.
Damn.
Well, I think it's pretty good because you like Peter Capaldi, so I'm thinking this is.
No, wait. What was it with the guy doing the drugs with the cancer?
Breaking Bad.
Yes, Breaking Bad. I got bored after season 3. Like,
Breaking Bad.
I watched the first episode, Julia.
Breaking Bad.
I went.
You know what?
Troy can take it no more.
No. I'm still here. I'm still alive. My mind's not blowing just yet. No way. I'm good. You know what? Season 1, I can't be with you on that. Season 1 is kind of a tough sell to get into, but once you get in it, it's one of the things. It's like a ride. Once you get in it, once you get past that initial, it does kind of go slow. I've got to admit, it does kind of go slow in the first season. It's really slow, but then once you
Yeah,
get past the first season, you kind of.
But you want to know the story of the character. You want to know what's gonna happen. Is he really gonna get into it? Is he gonna get busted? What's gonna
But
So
where did you drop off?
I can't remember. It's been such a long time. I've literally stopped at season 3 or 4, maximum 4.
Okay, got you.
And then
Quite deep.
I didn't even revise it. I didn't even go back to kind of like give it a second chance.
Damn.
No.
You got deep. I mean, I did
You got
episode.
deep. You got deep.
This is the problem with shows like this. I've said it on the podcast before. Breaking Bad is a show that Troy and Tom have been trying to get me to watch forever. Because legacy shows like Lost and all, you hear all the hype, you get too afraid to go near it. Stranger Things, I want to watch it, but in my mind, everyone's telling me it's amazing, and I'm scared if I don't like it, I've something wrong with me.
Ben, it's so bad. Just do yourself a favor and don't watch it. Don't ever watch it. Like, honestly, it's just don't go there. Don't touch it.
Oh,
I watched the first episode of this show.
Yes, that's smart. That's smart, Iulia. I like what you did there. Reverse psychology. I like it.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Breaking Bad, and I just thought it's fine. I will come back to this episode 2. I never came back. Now, it's not because I hate it. I think if I watch it, I'm really gonna like it. So I feel like I'm gonna give to Julia at least get through a couple of seasons and see how I feel. Because sometimes the first season of any show, they don't all turn up like Sweet Tooth and are fully formed, ready to go. Or like your Naked Director, or a reboot of Doctor Who season 1, 2005. They don't just come fully formed, confident, ready to go. Some of the best shows in the world, Buffy. I love Buffy. Season 1, it's all over the goddamn shop. It's Monster of the Week. Season 2, they've established it. It's a lot more firmer, and it goes on to be one of the best shows of all time. I've seen it with Star Trek, any Star Trek show. Sometimes that first season is a bit wobbly, and then they kind of just hit the ground. Next Generation does it. Deep Space Nine certainly does it. So it's a case of Xena does it as well. First seasons, the first couple of episodes of season 1 are awful, but like
I don't want to go back to Xena because that's like my childhood sort of, holy grail. Don't touch it. It's so intact in my head. I don't.
It holds up really well. It holds up really bloody well. Actually, so go watch it. It does hold up well. And Gabriel is still my number 1 crush. Yeah, wow, I shouldn't have said that. No. But basically, that's kind of Lost is the all-time bad show. Like it's
the time invested in that show.
You think, oh, this is going to be awesome, and you watch it, and you're just like, my brother wanted to watch all of it, and I should have just gone, yeah, bro, I'm done. Season 2. Fuck you.
Time invested in Lost.
Don't like you. Fuck you. You listen to this podcast, it's fine. He's laughing his ass off right now. You're disowned. I'm the only man in the family. Get out. Go. No.
But also, I think it's a good idea that you give shows at least a few episodes, because then you don't want to be like Netflix, canceling shows after the first week.
Jeez,
yeah, that's true.
It's
like you're canceling from your point of view. You're canceling, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think if it's intriguing, then we should maybe go. If it's potential in the first episode and you don't totally hate it, you got to the end of the first episode, then maybe that means you haven't been turned off. You should then go to the second one. Keep going for a few episodes. Right? If this is a completely garbage show, off. If there's nothing's working that first 15, 20 minutes. But if I think I'm going to go back to Breaking Bad, because if that first episode went, okay, this is an intriguing premise. I can see why people like this show. I think it's just a case of I never went back because I just had too many shows at the time.
But also, it's some something about Breaking Bad is, I think around the time that the show aired, people started to be more aware of cancer, because now we hear about it every day. Like, you probably know someone who has, or know someone who has cancer. And for me, it was sort of a new word in my vocabulary. I knew that it was like a disease, but I didn't really expect it to be so
Use.
so often found in real life, you know. I thought it was like something that people can get, but it's not. It's something rare, like, but now it can actually like happen to any one of us. So to see a person, a character put in that situation where, especially in USA, where if you don't have insurance, then you're fucked. Like, really.
I like it. She swears. I've never seen that in
So
work.
but anyway, what I'm saying is that to see a character put in that difficulty where you don't have money and you're this sick, it does make it interesting. And I think it's definitely worth the first few seasons that I watched is definitely worth watching. After that is more, I think it becomes more greedy. You know, that's what I think, and that's where I kind of stopped watching, where it becomes more about the greed rather than the need.
Move to England. We have the NHS. It's free. Sorry, America. We're not mocking you. But we are grateful to the NHS. We're very lucky.
Yeah.
Other countries have this money thing. Obviously, it has to be paid somehow. So I don't know how the NHS keeps doing it every year. So God bless those people. We are grateful. Actually saying that. Okay, well, thank you for the email, Raj. I just want to put a shout out.
Raj.
So Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Poland, Latvia, Indonesia, China, New Zealand, Malaysia, India, Netherlands, Australia, Canada, Philippines, Japan, Germany, Ireland, United States, and United Kingdom. Thank you to all the fans from all those countries. I am definitely.
Thank you.
I want Korea. I want Romania. I want Mexico because. Oh yeah, sorry, Mexico as well, because we've had some Mexican fans as well. Mexico just down the bottom here. Sorry, I do apologize.
Tienes que hablar en español. You have to speak in Spanish.
Yes. And I've got some news. Alex, my other boss, is back next week because people have, you also asked, where is Alex? Alex has been busy doing stuff. She will be here next week. And yeah, she needs more time than we do for picks. She takes it very seriously, so she'll be back next week. So that's cool. Look forward to that. Just want to do a shout out to, we've now got a Facebook page. Just put Scry Syndrome into Facebook. You can't miss the television set with the eyes and the logo. That'll be like the new fan base. Go chat in there. Go call each other's mum's whores. I don't care. Just go and have fun. Make it a nice area where you can talk about TV shows. Tell me I'm wrong about Jodie Whittaker and that I hate women. I don't. It's just the wrong lady. And complain about how we keep bringing up Loki and Sweet Tooth and Naked Director week after week after week, but that's fine. Julia, thank you again for coming on the podcast. Is there anything that we can find you on social wise?
Yes, Julia.
At the moment, not really, but I'll definitely let you guys know once I get into doing anything special. But in the meantime, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a real pleasure.
You'll be back soon, won't you? You're going to be like Alex. You come whenever you want to come. You can just come in. Feel free.
Sure, definitely. Next time I'll be more prepared.
You've done fantastic.
I hope.
No, you've done fantastic. Don't worry.
That Sweet Tooth breakdown was amazing.
I'm not saying that because you're my boss. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
No, you seriously done well. Like Alex.
And you're about to find. You be careful. Watch it.
Well done. Like, fantastic insight. Next week's episode of House of Animation, our animation podcast, is Aladdin. And yes, I do sing Arabian Nights very loud at the beginning. Do apologize. Arabian Nights. And Tom tells me to shut up in the first two. Yeah, because Tom comes across from the House of Animation. And Julia, if you ever want to pick an anime film animation film will come on there, please let me know in the future. You're welcome to join me and Tara and Troy.
No, but if you do love it so much, I would like for you to learn a belly dance or something.
I love that. Only this was video. We didn't come up with video.
Show your commitment.
That could be
Yes.
an Instagram video.
Yes, Ben. Show your
That's
commitment.
Let's get a Twitter account just for that, because we cover up the video bit so that we can see each other talk. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also, yeah, we're thinking Tara will be back in a future episode. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys about Tom. Sorry, I didn't tell you about Tom. I've completely forgotten about him. Yeah, Tom Hill's computer is on fire. Hopefully his house isn't on fire, but he's texted me today he's alive. That's good. So he's not been burnt to death.
You say hopefully his house is
He
on fire.
apologizes, but he'll be back in at least maybe 2 weeks. Hopefully next week he's sorting out his computer. He has not been fired, as Raj has said here. No, we haven't got rid of Tom.
No.
He's just got PC problems.
Yes.
So I can't say any more than that, but he's not gone. We're lucky we have so many people that want to step in and help out and record. So Julia is now
the squad of the Square House Syndrome is deep right now. The squad is deep.
Another Syndrome family member. We're lucky. So right, well that's me done. Cool. Right, it's goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye. Thank you again for the invite.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Our pleasure. Trust me, our pleasure.
Ooh, 2 hours nearly. That's been a long one.